You won't believe what just came to light in one of reality TV's most jaw-dropping financial scandals. Late last night, rumors began swirling that Kirk, yes, the Kirk, had been hiding a secret bank account that could completely upend his public image and his already fragile relationship with Rasheeda. Fans are shocked, and emotions are running higher than ever as whispers of betrayal, secrecy, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering flood social media. Sources claim that this isn't just a minor slip-up, it's a carefully concealed financial move that Rasheeda's legal team is now calling a deliberate act of deception with potentially explosive consequences. In an exclusive twist, Rasheeda's lawyer reportedly hit back immediately, threatening legal action and accusing Kirk of undermining not only their financial agreements but also the trust at the heart of their family. The situation escalated when private conversations between Kirk and his inner circle allegedly leaked, revealing shocking justifications, half-truths, and emotional outbursts that no fan could have anticipated. Friends and family are reportedly divided, with some expressing outrage and others showing quiet disappointment, leaving the entire household in turmoil. Social media is ablaze with fans dissecting every detail, from Instagram stories hinting at secrecy to cryptic tweets from both sides. Viewers are left asking, what was Kirk hiding, why now, and how will Rasheeda respond? Will this secret bank account become the breaking point in their tumultuous relationship, or is there more beneath the surface waiting to explode? Tonight, we're diving into every twist, every accusation, and every shocking revelation. You might think you know the story, but trust us, nothing could prepare you for the chaos that's about to unfold. This is more than drama. It's a full-blown reality TV earthquake, and we're breaking it all down for you scene by scene, confession by confession, and shock by shocking shock. Grab your popcorn, because the secrets behind Kirk's hidden finances and Rasheeda's fiery legal response are about to turn everything upside down. Fans, insiders, and even casual viewers are all talking. Everyone wants to know, who's telling the truth, who's lying, and just how deep does this web of deception go? Stay tuned, because in the next moments, you'll witness a story so full of twists, betrayals, and explosive reactions that it will make even the most seasoned reality TV enthusiasts gasp. The tension in the air was palpable as whispers about Kirk's secret bank account began circulating in the tight-knit circles of friends, family, and industry insiders. It started innocuously enough, a casual mention in a private chat, a screenshot that surfaced on social media, but it quickly snowballed into a full-blown scandal that no one saw coming. The initial revelation alone was enough to send fans into a frenzy, with some expressing shock, others outrage, and a few downright disbelief. Everyone knew Kirk as a man who meticulously controlled his finances, a figure who rarely let anything slip out of his carefully curated public persona. So the idea that he had been hiding a bank account, potentially filled with undisclosed funds, seemed almost surreal. Yet, the evidence began piling up. Leaks suggested that this wasn't a minor oversight or a forgotten account, it was a deliberate move that might have had serious implications for both his public image and his personal relationships. As the news spread, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided, with Rasheeda's team preparing for a legal confrontation that could change everything. Sources claimed that the discovery came to light when Rasheeda's accountant noticed discrepancies in financial statements while reviewing joint assets. Questions arose about transactions that didn't align with the documented income, prompting an immediate deep dive into Kirk's financial records. What they found was shocking: a hidden account that appeared to have been active for years, accumulating funds that had never been disclosed to Rasheeda or her legal team. The implications were staggering. Was this an attempt to shield assets from her, or was there a more complex strategy at play? As the story broke, fans immediately took to social media, dissecting every angle, speculating wildly about the motives behind such a move, and wondering how Rasheeda would respond. The drama didn't stop at just numbers on a screen. It became intensely personal. Conversations within the family reportedly reached a boiling point, with voices raised and emotions spilling over in ways that insiders described as explosive and heartbreaking. In the midst of this storm, Rasheeda's lawyer stepped forward with statements that were as fiery as they were calculated. Publicly, the lawyer labeled Kirk's actions as a breach of trust with potential legal ramifications, while privately warning that the discovery could serve as leverage in ongoing negotiations or disputes. The tension escalated further when anonymous insiders leaked snippets of conversations between Kirk and close confidants, revealing a mix of frustration, defensiveness, and outright denial. In these conversations, Kirk allegedly argued that the account was a personal financial cushion, a safety net unrelated to joint assets or shared responsibilities. However, the tone in the leaked messages suggested anxiety, as if even he recognized that the secret could no longer be contained. Fans dissected these leaks obsessively, crafting narratives, debating motives, and drawing conclusions that often leaned toward scandal rather than innocence. It was clear that the story had captured the imagination of a public hungry for drama, and the unfolding saga promised even more twists than anyone had anticipated. Meanwhile, friends and family found themselves in uncomfortable positions, torn between loyalty and the undeniable tension of the situation. Some expressed shock and disappointment, struggling to reconcile their perception of Kirk as a trustworthy individual with the reality of his hidden financial dealings. Others appeared more sympathetic, suggesting that perhaps the account was simply a misguided attempt at financial security. Though these voices were often drowned out by those demanding accountability, social media erupted with reaction videos, posts, and commentary, creating a frenzy that extended far beyond the immediate circle. Memes and heated debates flooded platforms, amplifying the drama and ensuring that every move made by Kirk or Rasheeda would be scrutinized to the extreme. As tensions mounted, private family meetings reportedly became arenas of confrontation, where accusations flew and emotions reached fever pitch. Witnesses described scenes filled with tears, raised voices, and a palpable sense of betrayal, painting a picture of a family at war with itself over a revelation that none could ignore. The narrative took an even darker turn when additional evidence surfaced. Screenshots, supposedly from Kirk's personal devices, suggested irregular patterns of deposits and transfers that raised questions about intent and timing. Some leaks hinted at last-minute withdrawals that coincided suspiciously with major family events, prompting speculation about whether these actions were designed to create financial advantage during moments of vulnerability. The emotional stakes couldn't have been higher. Rasheeda's team, armed with this new information, began preparing a legal strategy that combined immediate protective measures with long-term positioning for any potential dispute. Sources revealed that Rasheeda herself was devastated merely by the financial implications but by the perceived betrayal, the secrecy that had eroded trust, and the ripple effect this revelation had on family dynamics. Fans empathized with her, sharing messages of support and outrage, while others remained captivated by the sheer audacity of the scandal. Amid the chaos, dialogues between key players offered insight into the intensity of the conflict. One source recounted a private phone call between Rasheeda and Kirk, in which Rasheeda's voice trembled with anger and disbelief. "How could you keep this from me? After everything, you thought hiding money was acceptable?" Kirk reportedly responded defensively, attempting to justify his actions with explanations about financial security and personal autonomy. Yet, the emotional weight of the confrontation was undeniable. Each word, each pause, carried the weight of years of built-up trust, now threatened by secrecy. Observers said that even those who had supported Kirk in the past found it difficult to reconcile his words with the facts now laid bare, creating a sense of dramatic tension that transcended ordinary family disputes. Adding fuel to the fire, friends in the inner circle described heated discussions that spilled into the public eye. Some attempted to mediate, urging calm and perspective, while others openly criticized Kirk's actions, escalating the divide. The media picked up on these dynamics, further magnifying the conflict. Headlines screamed of betrayal, secrecy, and financial deception, and the audience was left riveted, unable to look away from the unfolding story. Every day brought new revelations, new statements from lawyers, new leaked conversations, and each development seemed to outdo the last in terms of intensity and public interest. The fan response was immediate and intense. Social media timelines overflowed with speculation, debate, and emotional reactions. Supporters of Rasheeda rallied to defend her, highlighting the apparent injustice and the violation of trust. Some fans expressed disappointment in Kirk, questioning his motives and demanding accountability. Meanwhile, others attempted to offer a more balanced perspective, suggesting that private financial decisions are complex and sometimes misunderstood. Nevertheless, the overall tone was one of high drama, with emotions running unchecked and every new detail scrutinized for hidden meaning. Influencers and reality TV commentators weighed in, dissecting body language, tone of voice, and social media behavior, creating a multi-layered narrative that kept fans engaged and hungry for more. As the situation developed, speculation about possible resolutions and outcomes began to swirl. Legal experts offered analysis, suggesting potential ramifications that ranged from asset freezes to public statements, while insiders hinted at the possibility of settlements or dramatic confrontations. The personal stakes were clear. Trust had been broken, relationships were strained, and the family's public image was at risk. Conversations between Rasheeda, Kirk, and their respective teams grew increasingly intense, with tension seeping into every interaction. Private moments reportedly included arguments that escalated to shouting, tearful appeals, and urgent discussions about the future. Even casual observers could sense the emotional turmoil, as every public appearance, post, and comment became laden with subtext, analyzed for hints of reconciliation, defiance, or further drama. As fans followed every development, the narrative expanded beyond the original scandal. Questions about loyalty, honesty, and accountability became central to the discussion. Rumors of hidden motives, secret alliances, and ulterior agendas added layers of intrigue. Each twist in the story seemed designed to provoke shock and debate, and the audience responded in kind. Comments sections became arenas for heated argument, with supporters and skeptics clashing over interpretations, motives, and likely outcomes. Analysts speculated about future confrontations, potential reconciliations, and the broader impact on both personal and professional lives. With every passing day, the situation became more entangled, more complex, and more riveting, ensuring that attention would remain focused on the saga for weeks, if not months, to come. Even as the drama reached a fever pitch, insiders revealed moments of vulnerability and reflection. Kirk reportedly expressed regret privately, acknowledging that the secrecy had caused pain and misunderstanding, while Rasheeda grappled with the emotional weight of the betrayal and the public scrutiny. These glimpses into personal reflection humanized the characters, adding emotional depth to a story that otherwise could have been dismissed as mere scandal. Fans connected with these moments, seeing in them the raw, unfiltered emotions that often lie behind public personas. Every confession, every tear, every heated exchange added richness to the narrative, heightening the tension and ensuring that audiences remained hooked. The first part of the unfolding saga ends here, with the family still divided, the legal strategy taking shape, and the public captivated by the intricate web of secrecy, emotion, and revelation. Kirk's secret bank account has become more than a financial issue. It's a symbol of trust, betrayal, and the high stakes of living life in the public eye. Fans are left on edge, wondering what will happen next, and insiders hint that the drama is far from over. Each day promises new twists, new confrontations, and new revelations that will continue to shock, enthrall, and divide the audience, setting the stage for the next chapter in this explosive reality TV saga. The drama only intensified as Part 2 of this unfolding saga picked up where Part 1 left off, plunging deeper into the tangled web of secrets, betrayal, and emotional volatility surrounding Kirk and Rasheeda. Sources revealed that the discovery of the hidden bank account had triggered a chain reaction, not only within the family but across their inner circle and fan base. Private conversations that were once confined to texts and whispers were now public fodder, and every action Kirk took was scrutinized with almost forensic intensity. Friends close to the couple described a whirlwind of emotions, with some attempting to intervene, others quietly observing, and a few opportunistically fueling the fire with leaks and rumors. It was as if the entire world had become a spectator to an intimate and explosive battle, where every glance, word, and movement carried weight. Rasheeda's reaction, according to insiders, was a mix of heartbreak and calculated resolve. While the emotional blow of betrayal hit her hard, she reportedly channeled her fury into strategizing with her lawyer, crafting a response that was as public as it was pointed. "This isn't just about money," she allegedly told her team. During a private meeting, "It's about trust, respect, and accountability. He can't think that hiding assets will go unnoticed or unchallenged." Her words reflected the duality of the situation, personal anguish and professional maneuvering. Meanwhile, Kirk's camp painted a different picture, suggesting that the account was innocuous, a personal safeguard with no intent to deceive or harm. Yet, leaked audio snippets and cryptic social media posts hinted at tension, defensiveness, and unease, creating an atmosphere thick with suspense and speculation. Fans continued to react with fervor. Online, the situation sparked debates about morality, loyalty, and the pressures of living under public scrutiny. Some defended Kirk, arguing that private finances are complex and that assumptions about deceit might be premature. Others sided firmly with Rasheeda, condemning the secrecy as a betrayal of both personal trust and the public image carefully cultivated over years. Influencers and reality TV commentators weighed in, dissecting statements, body language, and social media behavior, further amplifying the narrative. Memes, reaction videos, and live commentary flooded the internet, turning the saga into a cultural touchpoint that went far beyond the confines of the family drama. Every post, every video, every tweet contributed to a heightened sense of anticipation, leaving audiences eager for the next revelation. As tensions escalated, private confrontations reportedly became unavoidable. Insiders described heated arguments, where voices were raised and emotions ran unchecked. In one alleged exchange, Rasheeda confronted Kirk directly, her tone a mixture of anger, disappointment, and incredulity. "Do you realize what you've done? Do you understand the impact of keeping this from me?" Kirk's response, as recounted by sources, was defensive and strained. An attempt to justify his actions while deflecting blame. Yet, the emotional intensity was undeniable, creating a raw, almost cinematic scenario that blurred the lines between reality and performance. Friends and family were drawn into the conflict, each taking sides, offering counsel, or silently observing, their involvement adding layers of complexity and further fueling the narrative. The legal dimension added a new layer of drama. Rasheeda's lawyer reportedly moved swiftly, crafting a strategy that included both protective measures and public positioning. The attorney's statements were measured yet pointed, signaling that the matter would not be taken lightly. At the same time, Kirk's legal representatives were said to be reviewing options, seeking to manage exposure and mitigate potential consequences. The interplay between personal emotion and legal maneuvering created a tension-filled dynamic, with each side calculating carefully while simultaneously grappling with profound feelings of betrayal and uncertainty. Every decision, every statement, every leak became a potential turning point, ensuring that the drama would continue to unfold in unpredictable and captivating ways. One particularly dramatic twist emerged when additional evidence allegedly surfaced, shedding new light on the extent and history of the hidden account. Screenshots, transaction histories, and cryptic messages suggested patterns that raised questions about intent, timing, and transparency. Insiders hinted at last-minute withdrawals, coinciding with major family or public events, prompting speculation that these moves were calculated to maximize advantage or conceal information. Fans and commentators dissected every detail, connecting dots and hypothesizing motives in a frenzy of online analysis. The layers of intrigue deepened, and the story took on a life of its own, evolving from a simple financial revelation into a multidimensional drama involving trust, betrayal, and the fragile dynamics of public and private life. As the conflict escalated, dialogues between Kirk and Rasheeda became increasingly charged. In one alleged phone call, Rasheeda's frustration reportedly boiled over. "I trusted you with everything, and this is how you repay me. Do you even understand the weight of what you've done?" Kirk's defense, while articulate, was punctuated by pauses, sighs, and evident tension, suggesting that even he was aware of the precariousness of the situation. Observers noted that these exchanges, filled with emotion and subtext, revealed the complexity of their relationship, a mixture of love, disappointment, loyalty, and betrayal that resonated deeply with fans and drew widespread attention. The family dynamic, once stable and carefully curated for public consumption, now appeared fragile, teetering on the edge of complete exposure. The media frenzy surrounding the revelation added to the chaos. Headlines screamed of betrayal and deception, while pundits dissected every interaction, transaction, and public statement. Fans were captivated, following the story with a near-obsessive intensity, analyzing social media posts, interviews, and leaked messages for clues. The commentary ranged from sympathetic support for Rasheeda to nuanced debates about privacy, intention, and accountability. The public's fascination ensured that every development would be amplified, discussed, and scrutinized, turning a private financial matter into a cultural phenomenon that dominated conversation across platforms. In the midst of the drama, insiders revealed moments of reflection and vulnerability that added emotional depth to the narrative. Kirk reportedly expressed regret privately, acknowledging the pain caused and attempting to navigate the consequences of his actions. Rasheeda, meanwhile, wrestled with conflicting emotions, anger, sadness, and the pressure of maintaining composure under public scrutiny. These glimpses into the human side of the story offered contrast to the scandalous revelations, reminding audiences that behind the headlines were individuals grappling with real feelings and consequences. Fans connected to these moments, empathizing with the emotional toll and gaining insight into the nuanced interplay between personal betrayal and public exposure. Complicating matters further, third-party reactions intensified the stakes. Friends, extended family, and former colleagues weighed in, some providing support, others inadvertently fueling conflict by sharing speculation or confidential information. Rumors of secret alliances, hidden motives, and calculated strategies emerged, each twist heightening suspense and drawing more attention to the ongoing drama. Observers described the situation as a perfect storm, a convergence of secrecy, emotion, legal maneuvering, and public fascination that created a narrative both compelling and unpredictable. Each new leak or statement seemed timed to maximize impact, leaving fans riveted and hungry for more details. The situation also highlighted the broader impact of living life in the public eye. The scrutiny, speculation, and commentary created an environment where personal decisions were magnified and interpreted through the lens of entertainment. Kirk's hidden account became more than a financial issue. It symbolized trust, transparency, and the precarious balance of private and public life. The stakes were high, not just for the individuals involved but for the extended family, friends, and fans who had become emotionally invested in the unfolding story. Every action, every word, and every revelation carried significance, shaping perceptions, alliances, and the trajectory of the narrative. As Part 2 closes, the tension is higher than ever. Kirk's secret account continues to loom as a central point of conflict. Rasheeda's legal strategy is intensifying, and the public remains captivated by every twist and revelation. Conversations are fraught with emotion, alliances are shifting, and the story shows no signs of slowing down. Fans are left questioning motives, predicting outcomes, and eagerly anticipating the next chapter in this explosive reality TV saga. The drama has moved beyond simple scandal, evolving into a complex narrative of secrecy, betrayal, and emotional confrontation that promises even more shocking developments as the story unfolds. The storm surrounding Kirk's secret bank account reached new heights as Part 3 of this saga unfolded, plunging deeper into emotional confrontations, shocking revelations, and escalating tensions. Following the revelations and intense arguments detailed in Part 2, insiders revealed that the atmosphere within the family and inner circle had become increasingly volatile. Meetings that were once calm and measured transformed into arenas of debate, with accusations flying, voices raised, and emotions running unchecked. Friends and extended family members found themselves drawn into the conflict, some attempting to mediate while others took sides, further complicating the already tense dynamics. The personal stakes had become intertwined with public perception, and every conversation carried a weight that few could ignore. Rasheeda, fueled by a mix of betrayal and determination, reportedly ramped up her legal strategy while also confronting Kirk in private moments that were described as electrifying by insiders. During one such confrontation, her voice was said to quiver with controlled fury. "This isn't just about the money. It's about honesty, loyalty, and respect. You can't just hide things from me and expect it to vanish." Kirk's responses, while attempting to be reasoned, were punctuated by defensiveness and occasional bursts of frustration, suggesting that even he recognized the magnitude of the situation. This clash of emotions created a dramatic tension that was palpable not only to those present but also to fans following the story, who could feel the weight of betrayal and the emotional fallout through every leaked snippet and social media post. The leaks continued, providing fans with glimpses into private messages, voice notes, and screenshots that painted a complex picture. Some suggested that Kirk had been meticulously planning financial maneuvers over several years, while others hinted at a more impulsive decision-making process. Social media exploded as fans debated motives, dissected every message, and speculated on the implications. Influencers and reality TV commentators jumped in, providing their own interpretations and stirring even more discussion. The story had transcended the initial scandal, evolving into a full-blown cultural phenomenon that captivated audiences far beyond the immediate circle of family and friends. Every revelation, no matter how small, sparked debate, speculation, and emotional reactions, keeping the drama alive and intensifying the sense of suspense. Insiders described moments of heated discussion between Kirk and Rasheeda that reportedly lasted for hours, with neither side willing to concede. In one alleged confrontation, Rasheeda reportedly questioned the timing and intent behind the hidden account. Was this meant to protect yourself? Or were you trying to manipulate the situation? Kirk, according to sources, attempted to justify the account as a personal financial safety net. But the intensity of Rasheeda's reaction and the gravity of the situation made it clear that mere explanation was insufficient. The clash was described as emotionally raw, a mixture of anger, hurt, and disbelief that highlighted the profound impact of secrecy and the fragile nature of trust. Meanwhile, reactions from friends and extended family added another layer of intrigue. Some expressed shock and disappointment, struggling to reconcile their perception of Kirk with the revelations. Others remained sympathetic, suggesting that the account may have been intended for personal security rather than deception. These differing perspectives fueled heated debates within private circles and on public platforms alike, amplifying the drama and drawing more attention to the saga. Rumors of alliances, secret conversations, and behind-the-scenes maneuvers circulated, creating an environment where speculation ran rampant and the true motives remained shrouded in mystery. Legal strategies continued to play a pivotal role in the unfolding story. Rasheeda's legal team, described as methodical and assertive, reportedly prepared a series of measures designed to protect her interests while also applying pressure on Kirk. This included exploring potential asset disclosures, public statements, and other maneuvers that could influence both the legal and personal dimensions of the conflict. Kirk's team, in turn, focused on damage control, seeking to manage public perception and mitigate the fallout while navigating the emotional complexities of the situation. The interplay between emotion and strategy created a narrative rich in suspense, tension, and unpredictability, ensuring that fans remained engaged and eager for updates. A dramatic twist emerged when additional financial documents and communications were allegedly uncovered, hinting at more extensive activity than initially suspected. Observers suggested that certain transactions coincided with key family events or public appearances, raising questions about intent and transparency. Fans, analysts, and media outlets dissected the details with fervor, interpreting patterns and hypothesizing motives. The saga had transformed into a multifaceted drama, encompassing betrayal, strategy, emotional intensity, and public fascination. Each new detail added complexity and suspense, creating a story that was as captivating as it was unpredictable. As the conflict escalated, dialogues between Kirk and Rasheeda reportedly took on an even more intense character. One source claimed that Rasheeda confronted Kirk about the long-term implications of his secrecy. "Do you understand what you've done to our family, our image, and the trust we've built? This isn't just numbers, it's everything we stand for." Kirk's attempts to explain and defend his actions were described as strained and tentative, suggesting a growing awareness of the consequences he faced. The emotional stakes were enormous, as both parties grappled with betrayal, reputation, and the potential fallout that could affect their public and private lives. Social media engagement reached unprecedented levels during this phase of the drama. Fans dissected every post, comment, and appearance, often assigning motive and intent to every action. Reaction videos, detailed analyses, and heated debates flooded platforms, turning the story into a public spectacle that transcended traditional reality TV intrigue. Influencers weighed in with commentary, further amplifying the story and creating a multi-layered narrative that kept audiences hooked. The intensity of public scrutiny added pressure on both Kirk and Rasheeda, forcing them to navigate a delicate balance between personal emotion and public perception. Amid the heightened tension, moments of vulnerability emerged that humanized the conflict. Kirk was reportedly seen expressing remorse and concern privately, acknowledging the emotional pain caused by secrecy and the challenges of managing public exposure. Rasheeda, meanwhile, struggled with her own emotional responses, navigating anger, sadness, and the need to maintain composure under intense scrutiny. These glimpses into personal reflection provided contrast to the scandalous elements of the story, revealing the depth of emotional impact and the complexity of relationships strained by secrecy and public attention. The story also highlighted the impact of third-party involvement. Friends, extended family, and industry insiders contributed to the unfolding drama, sometimes providing support, at other times exacerbating tension through leaks, speculation, or unsolicited commentary. The combination of emotional intensity, strategic maneuvering, and public fascination created a narrative that was simultaneously personal and performative, reflecting the intricate dynamics of modern reality TV storytelling. Each development seemed designed to maximize suspense and viewer engagement, ensuring that the audience remained captivated by every twist, confrontation, and revelation. As Part 3 draws to a close, the situation had reached a critical juncture. Kirk's secret bank account remained a focal point of conflict, Rasheeda's legal strategy was intensifying, and the emotional stakes had never been higher. Conversations were fraught with tension, alliances were shifting, and every new development promised further drama. Fans were left eagerly anticipating the next chapter, speculating about potential resolutions, and emotionally invested in the unfolding saga. The story had evolved from a simple financial revelation into a complex narrative of secrecy, betrayal, legal maneuvering, and emotional confrontation, setting the stage for an explosive conclusion that would keep viewers on the edge of their seats. The tension that had been building for weeks finally reached its zenith in Part 4. The climactic phase of this explosive saga, Kirk's secret bank account, which had already fractured trust, disrupted family dynamics, and captured the public's imagination, became the epicenter of a series of confrontations that insiders described as unforgettable and highly charged. Following the heated exchanges, leaked communications, and social media frenzy detailed in Parts 1 through 3, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Every family meeting, every legal discussion, and every public appearance carried enormous stakes, as both Kirk and Rasheeda grappled with the implications of secrecy, betrayal, and the relentless scrutiny of a captivated audience. The dramatic confrontation began behind closed doors, where Rasheeda reportedly demanded full transparency from Kirk. Her voice, firm and unwavering, left no room for excuses. "I need the truth, the full truth. No more hiding, no more half-measures. This affects everything: our family, our finances, and our reputation." Kirk, initially defensive, was forced into an increasingly vulnerable position. According to insiders, he admitted to maintaining the account, but framed it as a misguided attempt to secure personal financial stability. Even in these admissions, however, the tension was palpable. Rasheeda's frustration and disappointment cut through the conversation like a knife. Emotions ran high, tears were shed, and voices occasionally rose to near shouting levels, creating a scene that would rival any scripted reality TV drama. Public reaction to these revelations was immediate and intense. Fans dissected every detail, from Kirk's phrasing in leaked messages to his demeanor in recent appearances, creating a whirlwind of speculation and debate. Social media platforms exploded with commentary, analysis, and emotional responses, while influencers and reality TV commentators offered running narratives that further amplified the tension. Some fans sided with Rasheeda, applauding her insistence on transparency and accountability. Others expressed sympathy for Kirk, suggesting that his actions, while questionable, stemmed from a desire for personal security rather than malice. The polarized reactions intensified the drama, creating a multi-layered narrative that kept audiences enthralled and invested in every development. Meanwhile, Rasheeda's legal team escalated their actions, preparing measures designed to protect her interests while signaling a firm stance against further concealment. Lawyers worked to ensure that all assets were accounted for, potential legal breaches addressed, and any leverage fully documented. Kirk's legal team, in response, focused on damage control and public relations, aiming to mitigate reputational harm while navigating the complex interplay between private finances and public perception. The tension between these dual tracks, confrontation and legal maneuvering, added layers of intrigue, suspense, and high stakes, making every decision, statement, and action crucial. Insiders revealed that private family conversations had grown increasingly intense, with allies and advisors offering conflicting counsel. Some urged reconciliation, emphasizing the potential for repair and understanding. Others pushed for strict accountability, arguing that Kirk's secrecy warranted firm consequences. The resulting dynamic created a charged environment, where every comment, every gesture, and every piece of advice carried significant weight. These tensions further fueled the public fascination, as fans and commentators eagerly followed